All right, so let's look at this percent composition by mass activity. All right, and if you were in class, what we were going to do is I would have given you one of these, and what it is it's a bolt with 6 washers on it. That's what these little circle things are, and it's got 2 nuts on the end that screw onto it. All right, and what we're supposed to do is we're supposed to find out what's the percent composition of this device for each of the different types of material that's on it. So what you need to do first of all is we're going to find out what there is of each one. So there are 2, whoops, I just dropped them. There's 2 of these nuts that screw on here. So I'll set those down here. Then I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 washers that slide off of it. So I have those. And then there's 1 of these bolts. All right, so that's what's in the very first beginning is there's 1, and then there's 2, and then there's 6 of these little guys. All right. Then you go to part number 2 and you're supposed to find out the mass. So if we took the balance and set these on there, we set this on the balance and we find out, which I already found out before, that the mass of the bolt is 26 grams. So it's 26 grams for this guy, 26. All right. And then I take the 2 nuts, these 2 guys, okay, put those on the balance and find out what both of those together weigh. And both of them together weigh 6.2 grams. Then we take all 6 of these washers, right, and put those on the balance and find out what they weigh. All 6 of them together, they weigh 17.55 grams. 17.55 grams is their mass. All right. So those are the 3 masses. So again, you got the bolt, the big long bolt, he's 26 grams. You got the 2 nuts are 6.2 grams. And all the washers together are 17.55 grams. Now what you need to do is you need to add all those up and find out what's the total mass of this entire thing all put together. All right. And then what we're going to do is then in the third part, you're going to calculate the percent composition of this thing based on their masses. All right. Not based on numbers, but based on their masses. So the very first one, if we use the nuts, we could go with the nuts, had a mass of 6.2. So that's the mass of the nuts. We're going to divide that by the total mass of this whole thing all added together. Then you multiply by 100%, and that would give you the percent composition of the mass of this thing that is these 2 nuts. Then you got to do the same thing for the bolt, and then you got to do the same thing for the 6 washers. So I want you to do that and then send that in to me. And then what you're going to do is then you're going to go on to part number 2. And in part number 2, then we're going to apply this to chemistry. In chemistry, we're going to use this compound. I'll write it on the board behind me. It's MgNO3 2. Okay. So now I want you to look at this. First of all, how many Mg's are there in that? There's only 1. Kind of like the bolt that was in this. Now, how many N's are there? Well, there's a 2 on the outside times the 1 that's inside. There are 2 of them. Oh, that would be kind of like the 2 nuts that are right here, huh? And then how many oxygens are there? Well, there's 3 times the 2, so that's 6. So there's 6 of them, just like the washers. Now, I will tell you the masses aren't going to be the same. What I wanted to do with this is to give you a chance to actually like hold on to something that resembles, by numbers, MgNO3 because that molecule is really, really, really small, and we can't see it. So I can't let you, there's no way for me to show it to you. But you can see it by doing this. All right. Now, the one thing is, how are we going to get the masses of those? Well, we're not going to be able to put them on a balance. Oh, but you know what we could do? We could go to the periodic table and utilize the molar mass of each thing. So we can use the mass of the magnesium times 1. We can use the mass of nitrogen from the periodic table times 2. And then we can use the mass of the oxygen times 6 from the periodic table. Okay. Then you should be able to go down to the very bottom and figure out the percent composition by taking that molar mass of each individual part and dividing that by the total mass of the entire thing. All right. So that's the how you calculate the answers to these. So I want you to do this part also, and then send me the answers. All right. And we'll see you next time. Have a great day.